Show Live squad. I hope you had a great weekend. In case you missed Friday's episode of Bradshaw Live, we had Kiku Collins on. She discussed her American dream, her battle with breast cancer, and her incredible career as a trumpeter. We also had Anna Escona on talking about her frustration about the new 2020 census question asking people if they're documented or not. And then we also had the incredible criminal attorney David Moreno on talking about how he got a young client off who had gotten in trouble and had tried to evade arrest. Luckily for him, he had David Moreno as his attorney. So anyway, we have a little bit of time before the show starts, so I thought I'd give you a little tour of Spar Bernstein's offices, Groundhog Sam's favorite places. Come on. One of my favorite places is here on executive producer Jilly Bean's desk, because Jilly Bean's got jelly beans. Ha ha! This is the conference room, or as I like to call it, Groundhog Sam's napping room. As you'll see, I've made a cozy little corner for myself where I like to take a little snooze here and there when no one's looking. It's a Groundhog Sam power nap, if you will. This is where I dream my Groundhog Sam dreams. Pretzels. This is the Spar Bernstein kitchen, where Groundhog Sam likes to go and check out the fridge, see what everyone's eating. Hold on, let's check it out. It's looking a little bare in here today. I'm gonna go find the pretzel man. One of my other favorite places in Spar Bernstein's offices after a really long day is Brad's office where the bar is. But shh, don't tell him. He doesn't know. He doesn't know I come in here. Okay, let's watch the show!
Anyways, welcome everybody. Groundhog Sam found the secret bar in my office. Welcome everybody. Bradshaw Live. Belgium Kim.
Thank you,
Welcome,
Brad.
welcome. Yo-Yo on assignment today.
Special assignment.
Special assignment, but he will be back tomorrow, everybody. And welcome everybody. And by the way, I believe I saw the weather report. I'm getting tired of this winter.
Yes.
Okay, Groundhog Sam was a little off, but I see, at least certainly in the New York area, it's going to start warming up after today.
Oh, thank God.
And then I saw it's going to be 82 degrees on Saturday. Not that I'm the weatherman or anything. This is not the weather show,
really?
but I am now getting a little excited for the weather.
I'm very excited about that.
Yes.
That I am very
And by the way, everybody, if you're excited to watch us on our show today, please, 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 with sugar on top and a cherry. Share this with your friends and family. Take out your thumb, take out your finger. If you don't have fingers, take out your elbow, your left foot, whatever you have, and please share this on your friends and family's timelines. Let them know that we are here to help them and help you to get your immigration questions asked and answered. Also, if you like to see our show, you like watching us, and you enjoy, whether you enjoy the commentary from the Brad Squad, or you enjoy the commentary by Belgium Kim,
right,
or you enjoy hearing some of the immigration questions that I answer, whatever you enjoy about this show, the best way to make sure that you get every second of enjoyment is to go to Bradshaw Live right now and you follow and like us on Bradshaw Live on Facebook. And if you follow and like us on Bradshaw Live on Facebook, we'll have an itch there. If you like us and follow on Bradshaw Live on Facebook, I promise you every day at 5:30 when we come on live, Mark Zuckerberg, whether he's appearing in Congress or he's back in his office in California, is going to notify you that we are live. And it's the best way to find out. So you like and follow Bradshaw Live, and then you share this with your friends and family. Let them know to also like and follow Bradshaw Live, and then we can help as many people as we can. The telephone number right now, Rico is on hold. So Rico, we're going to get to you in about 5 minutes or so. So Rico's on hold. We already have one. Rico has a burning question because he's been on hold before our show even started.
Wow, he was at the ready.
So Rico, hang in there. We're going to get to you in a few minutes. But for everybody else, our lines are wide open right now. The telephone number to call is 1-800- I have to go slower. I just realized.
This is what happens when we don't do our mouth warm-ups before the show.
Yes, mouth warm-ups. Oh boy.
Red leather, yellow leather.
I'm a little leathery. I've been talking all day. People don't realize I have another job as a lawyer besides doing this.
Yeah, sometimes you're an attorney with a real law firm.
Correct. 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465 is the number to call. And I do have to say, I would be remiss if I didn't say hello to all my favorite people out there. Lisa Montauk, Christy Consali, Nicola Kramer, Carla Harris, Dwayne Welcome, Dawn Harriet, Beverly Thompson, Lisa Montauk, Marsha Everbless, Beverly Thompson, Jella Shauna, who else is here? Paulette Williams, hello. Karkush Burke. He says, hi, Brad, Yo-Yo, and Kim. There's no Yo-Yo today. He's on assignment. But I will say that I'll pass on your kind regards.
Yeah, hello.
Nicola Kramer. Hello. Willie Williams. Natoy Dixon. Who else? Natoy Dixon making sure that she knows that she is from Jamaica.
Jamaica is in the building.
Yes, she knows that. Just in case we were unaware of that, she made it very clear with about 20 flags. So we love Jamaica, by the way.
Jamaica.
Doris Bernard, and I see that Belgium Kim is watching as well. Hello, Belgium Kim.
It's Belgium Kim's favorite show.
It is Belgium Kim's favorite show, and that was on our Spar and Bernstein feed. And of course, a lot of people. There's a big rivalry now between the Spar and Bernstein people and the Bradshaw people, because we do this on 2 different live feeds on Facebook. On Law Offices of Spar and Bernstein, you can follow that, and you'll also be notified. Or on Bradshaw Live, you can watch on either one of these feeds. And there seems to be a bit of a competition.
Oh, it's Biggie and Tupac.
It is a bit of a competition. Like people who watch on Bradshaw Live will not. There's a few people who cross over, like Christy Consali.
Yeah.
She'll watch on both. But for the most part, it's the Bradshaw Live people are their own group. And so let's go through that group.
Yeah,
it's Barbara Ward, Tamika Nelson, Jeff Bosey, Dionne Watson, Cheryl Blake, Patrona Collins. They're their own group.
Oh my.
Right? Cordella Willery, Barbara Lord, Marcia Whitaker, Malia Lobin Martin. Who else did I miss here?
Marsha Munchie
Smith. You can help me if you want. Trekus Taylor. That's a new name.
Carlette Harrison.
Who's Trekus? Trekus Taylor is a different person than Keisha Taylor. Every day I'm like, who's Trekus Taylor?
And it's actually really beautiful. It's what her grandmother used to call her.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
So she has a new name every day. Denisha John.
Yep.
We have no idea if Keisha may not even be her real name for all we know.
Kevin Legacy is brand new.
Kevin Legacy.
Kevin Legacy, welcome, sir.
Welcome. And I see Kevin Legacy.
Yeah.
He says, okay.
Welcome. Everybody immediately jumped on. I'm like, oh, Kevin, hello, welcome,
Camille
please
Cope.
share.
Camille Cope. She says, thank you for loving my island. I do. I do. And, of course, Groundhog Sam is watching as well. And for everybody else, hello, and please share this with your friends and family. But there seems to be some sort of rivalry brewing. I see, like last week, Jeff Bosey was trying to get people to come over to Bradshaw Live.
Yeah.
There seems to be more Bradshaw Live people, trying to get people to come over. The Spar and Bernstein people, they seem to be...
They kind of keep to themselves.
They keep to themselves. They ask their questions. They watch. There's Barack Obama. I don't know which one he watches.
He said, Michelle and I love this show. It's
oh, is that what he's saying? I wonder maybe if
he watches on Bradshaw
Live. Do you think maybe he's like a fake account and he could be watching?
Oh,
you never
maybe
know.
He's Trekus Taylor.
You don't know. You don't know.
Keisha, are you actually Barack Obama?
You don't know. You don't know. So, any event, 1-800-529-5465. And I see Matt from Tucson is also called. We're going to get to everybody right now. Quickly in the news, Kim.
What's going on?
I'll tell you what's going on. I got the news right here in front of me. I'll tell you exactly what's going on.
Secret stack of news.
Yes, secret stack of news. Do you know, by the way, before I get into my secret stack of news, I was, I'll tell another day. You know what? It's too much.
You had me on the edge of my seat for a hot
that's all right.
second.
We'll save it for another day. So, the ICE, they raided a meatpacking place in rural Tennessee. 97 immigrants were arrested.
Oh my God.
Federal officials arrested 97 immigrants at a meat processing plant in rural Tennessee last Thursday in what civil rights organizations said was the largest single workplace raid in a decade. Now, I remember under former second Bush, What do we call is it second Bush? What do we call him?
Bush Jr.
Bush Jr.
Bush Jr.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dumber Bush.
Yeah. W. Bush. W. I like W.
Okay. So under W, under W. Bush, they used to go raid these meatpacking plants all the time. It's usually people from Central American countries. It's really, it's a very hard, gruesome, grueling job.
Right.
You know, basically killing cattle, processing them, churning the meat.
You're in the guts all day long.
Yeah, they can't find Americans to do this type of job. I can assure you. And you always see this in the news all the time. Whenever ICE wants to go like put something in the news, like they're doing something, it's always the meatpacking plant. It always
they know that
they know there's always they know meatpacking plant. There's immigrants there, and they probably don't have their papers. So apparently what set this alarmed ICE about this one set off the alarm bells in ICE like this is a good one to go to, the meatpacking plant, is that the guy who owned the company had this very large taxable income, yet didn't have a lot of payroll. And apparently every week he went and was cashing huge checks for cash. So, and then paying the immigrants in cash.
Well, so he's in trouble too,
he's
right?
in bigger trouble than the immigrants.
Right.
Right. So that's what's going on in rural Tennessee.
Heartbreaking.
And it's extraordinarily unsafe conditions. So it's not easy even, you know, not only is it grueling, gruesome, it is extraordinarily unsafe, low-wage jobs. They're horrible. I mean, that's bottom of the barrel jobs.
Absolutely.
And this is who ICE wants to, you know, people who just want to get by.
I grew up in a town with one of those meatpacking plants in it, and the smell alone for miles. Yeah,
it's dead carcasses.
It's awful. Yeah. Oh, you couldn't. Yeah. And they had trouble finding people to work.
Who wants to work there?
Yep.
Right. So, did you see that Michael Cohen? That's President Trump's attorney. His office just got raided by the FBI.
I did see that.
Robert Mueller. That happened about 2 hours ago. And he's the one who paid off Stormy Daniels. Stormy Daniels' lawyer hints that a major bombshell is, quote, coming.
I mean,
I guess, because Stormy Daniels, she's a porn star. Yes.
No,
I'm just reading this as I see this, you know. That's what he says. Stormy Daniels' lawyer hints a quote, major bombshell is coming.
A major bombshell.
I am sure it is.
I don't know if I'd call her a major bombshell.
I am sure it is. I am sure it is. A major bombshell is coming.
How hard is it to read these stories and be completely appropriate?
I just want you to know, by the way, I can't make this stuff up, and it's not like I think about this ahead of time. I'm just reading it as I see it.
You're just a messenger, Brad.
I'm just a messenger. Yes, a major bombshell is coming.
It's coming.
Yes.
Somewhere.
Yes.
When can we expect this major bombshell to come?
I don't know. I mean, I have to guess that the major bombshell will be coming.
That's kind of the
I don't know. What does she do to do her next movie?
Kind of the job.
What does she do for her next movie? By the way, when you think about this, when you think about this, you know. So first of all, just for a little background, so I could read the notes here, because Jilly Bean gave me a lot of notes on this. Okay, Daniels, a porn actress whose real name is Stephanie Clifford, said in a 60 Minutes interview last month that a stranger approached her in 2011 after she sold her story of a one-night session of unprotected sex with Mr. Trump to a magazine that never ran her account. I was in a parking lot going to a fitness class with my infant daughter, and a guy walked up to me on the street and said, "Hey, leave Trump alone, forget the story." That was it.
Great henchman voice.
That was it.
That's a great henchman voice.
Yeah. So the henchman walked over to her in the parking lot, and he said, "Leave Trump alone, forget the story." Yeah. So, and apparently years later, Cohen paid Daniels $130,000. Trump, now this $130,000, this is how stupid everything gets. Trump says he doesn't know anything about this $130,000.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. And the reason why he never heard of it is because if he did hear about it, it could be considered an illegal campaign contribution. Okay. Now, he never heard about it. So since he never heard about this, then how could he have signed an agreement a non-disclosure agreement if he's never heard about this thing? I mean, think about it, right? You can't have a agreement just by yourself, you know? So who did she have this non-disclosure agreement with? And as part of the non-disclosure, Trump has to do certain things too. He has to promise not to talk about it as well.
Right.
So how could you make this agreement if Trump's never heard about it?
Oh,
right?
Man. I'm so excited for the side-by-side videos of like when he's under oath.
So no, well, I'm going to tell you, it's never going to come to that.
Oh no, what's it going to get to?
It's going to be the longest one-night stand in the history of the world.
It already
because
is.
He had one night of unprotected sex, and this is going on
like
forever.
5 years ago.
Right, and this is what I think is going to happen because Stormy Daniels' lawyer, what's his name? Michael Avanti.
Yeah.
He says he wants to depose Trump and have him be deposed under oath that he's never heard of this. He never knew about this agreement.
Right.
Okay, because he wants to make it invalid.
That'd be amazing.
So if I'm Trump's lawyer, you know what I'm going to say? Forget it. Everybody seems to know about this already anyway.
Right.
What's the difference? It's the worst kept secret in the world. Everybody knows he had sex with Stormy Daniels, unprotected sex. So at this point, why go under oath and now put yourself up for perjury? So just say, forget it. I'm not going to go under oath. Then no agreement, period. End the story. That's what's going to happen. So then once that happens, then Stormy Daniels is going to turn around and sue him for defamation, saying he doesn't know who this woman is when he does.
And if she does,
so this is going to go. This relationship between Stormy Daniels and Donald Trump is going to go on for another decade, and it's going to be the longest one-night stand in the history of. Talk about quoting Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah, seriously.
Yes. All right. So let's see. Trump sent troops to the border. That's going to do absolutely nothing. Because we don't live in a military state, and the military is not allowed to arrest anybody. So all they're going to do is have their binoculars out, and then call the border agent. I see somebody about 2 miles down the road, and that's exactly what they're going to do. That's all they can do, you know, because we're not in a military state. So when you hear Trump's like, we're putting people at the border, they can't really do much at the border other than take out their binoculars.
What was that movie where they were training the rent-a-cops and they were like, now if you see something really bad happen, you get this out, and you call the police, and it's a bag of quarters that they to go to the nearest payphone.
Exactly. Yeah. And so that's what's happening at the southern border. Donald Trump's apartment building went up in flames over the weekend. Unfortunately, one person died.
Oh, my God.
Yes. Did you see that Trump Tower?
No.
Yeah, on the 50th floor of the tower, located on 5th Avenue, there was a fire. 4 firemen, 6 firefighters were injured. 1 man died in the blaze on the 50th floor.
Oh, my God.
And Trump tweeted, by the way, fire at Trump Tower is out, very confined, well-built building. Firemen and women did a great job. Thank you. And Eric Trump followed that with, thank you to the amazing men and women of the New York Fire Department who extinguished a fire in a residential apartment at Trump Tower. FDNY and NYPD are truly some of the most incredible people anywhere. What they did not just do was say, gee, I really feel bad. The building that I built that has no, by the way, Trump Tower has absolutely no sprinkler system.
Oh my God.
So what they forgot to say, and there's the fire in the building. So what they forgot to say was, by the way, we're so terribly sorry that we built a building without a fire system in it, which caused the death of 1 person and 6. They didn't even say we're sorry somebody got hurt.
Just very well built.
Just well built. Sorry somebody died.
Solid building though.
Just solid building. But they don't.
Oh my God.
They don't say what's the most obvious thing, and that's the victim. He's the guy who died. He was the owner of the building. But they don't say the most obvious thing, which is, gee, we're sorry about the loss of life in a building that we built. We could have put sprinkler systems in. We elected not to because this building was built in New York City before 1999. And this is by the way, good, you know, just FYI to anybody who goes into a building in New York City. If you walk into a building in New York City that was built prior to 1999, it was optional whether or not to put a sprinkler system in. So like this building they were in, but luckily we're on the 5th floor.
Right.
Okay,
yeah.
but the building we're in was built in 1938. I'm not aware of any sprinkler systems in here. The landlord decided not to do it.
Right.
But, you know, some of these buildings that were built prior to 1999 going 50, 60, 70 floors up in the air, there's no sprinkler system.
Oh, my God.
Okay, so if a fire goes out, that fire is going through the whole building. Okay, now buildings built after 1999 in New York City, you could Google this, must have sprinkler systems, but prior to 1999, they don't have to.
Oh my God, that's unbelievable. I had no idea. I can't believe that the well-built building was the first thing he thought to put in there.
Well, luckily, you know, Donald Trump is going to have some competition when he runs for election again. Dr. Evil from
It's gonna be stiff competition.
Yes, Dr. Evil from
Austin Powers.
Austin Powers. I just went blank on the name. I know it's Mike Myers. Dr. Evil appeared on Jimmy Fallon. He just has a couple more people who watch his show than ours.
Everyone.
And he said Dr. Evil will possibly be running for I thought it was really funny, for the president, and he has a hat that says, "Let's make America evil again." There he is. And he said he was the guy who came up with the wall to built in Mexico. It was his idea.
Right.
But he wanted to make it a moat with blowfish. Wait, I think we have a clip if Facebook doesn't cut us off. Yeah, that's something
Everybody
about Dr. Till. Are we going to show this and keep our fingers crossed? We're not going to show it. I think we don't show it. I don't think it's.
Show
I
it?
say no.
Oh, okay.
Julie says show it.
All the most evil stuff was me.
Even deporting dreamers?
No, Jimmy, even I have my limits. I'm evil, but I'm not a monster.
All right. Yeah, don't show anymore. Then they will cut us out.
More.
Yeah.
Don't show it again.
All right. So I thought it was very funny. So he's going to be running for president.
I'm evil, but I'm not a monster.
Yeah, he's going to be running for president. And Saturday Night Live, by the way, was funny also this weekend.
Oh, it was hilarious.
Yeah, did you see they had the Game of Life DACA edition?
Yes.
Where the narrator says, uh-oh, better hope, presidential tweet, better hope it's about Roseanne instead of being a real-life tweet from Trump congratulating Roseanne Barr on her show rating success. The card had another Trump tweet declaring DACA is dead. And then Melissa Villasenor played a woman stuck on the DACA path, which included navigating the obstacles of becoming a legal citizen, avoiding ICE agents looking to send her back to Honduras. And she says, back to, but I've never been to Honduras. Surprise, says Beck Bennett, playing the commercial's narrator. You were brought here as a baby. So that was on SNL. And finally, before we get to all of your immigration questions, by the way, I met somebody this weekend who I was walking into a building and they said, are you Brad from the Facebook? And I said, yes. And she goes, oh my God, I watch. I don't have any immigration issues. I just love watching and I love what you say about Trump. So I go, wow. I thought people like want to just get into the immigration question.
Did she take a selfie with you?
Yes, she did.
Oh my God, that's real celebrity status right there.
My first brush with fame.
That's celeb status.
I never had a selfie taken with me before on the street. In the office, yes.
I was going to say, well, you and I need to take a selfie. I just realized I don't have a selfie.
Mm-hmm. And finally, because we got to get to immigration questions, because that's what the show is about.
That's what the people want.
That's what the people want. Got to give them what they want.
You got to pander a little.
I know, but they also like Trump.
They do. They do.
Right.
Well, they like it when we call him the Orange Man.
Finally, Fox News had a little mishap. More than a myth. More than a mishap.
It was more than a
more than a mishap. A blunder.
A blunder. Ooh, blunder's a good word.
So they accidentally broadcast a graphic showing that they are the least trusted major news network in America. The broadcaster, they displayed the Monmouth University poll, and only 30% of America trusts what they see on Fox News, compared to 48% trust CNN. And by the way, that more people trust CNN than they do trust the President of the United States. And so
are
that's...
Fox's approval ratings higher than Trump's approval ratings? I bet you they're about the same.
I don't know. Tomorrow, by the way...
Trump, look at that!
Oh, yeah. By the way, tomorrow, I want everyone to tune in, because tomorrow we're going to be talking about the squirrel who got the prosthetic arms, the people who can make the coffin out of your ashes, and the artist imagining people as refugees. We have to get to immigration. But tomorrow, we got a really good show already. Stay tuned for tomorrow. Rico's been waiting 30 minutes. I got to speak to him. Rico, how are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
All right. I got
I'm in a dilemma. I have
What?
a very, very, very complex case that I like an answer for a question.
Sure.
But before I get to the question, I'd like to, shed a little light on my issue.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, back in 2014, I applied and was approved for a VAWA petition.
Right.
So I got approved as a VAWA petitioner, and in I believe it was January of 2015, I actually got the letter stating that I'm approved and I can go ahead and adjust my status.
Sounds good so far.
Right.
Where
So
you from, Rico?
2 weeks.
Rico, where you from?
Originally from Jamaica.
All right, so far, you came here to America, you got married, there's a VAWA application filed, you got it approved.
Right.
What happened?
So 2 weeks after my VAWA was approved, right, I got arrested on
what?
some conspiracy charges, drug charges.
Okay, so now that's a big problem because if you were found guilty of that, then that's the bye-bye for you. What happened on the case?
So
what happened on the case?
This was in 2015.
1 second,
So,
1 second. What happened on the case? Let me just ask the questions now. What happened on the case?
okay, well I fought the case, and 1 week before trial,
You pled guilty.
the prosecutor opted to drop the charge.
Okay, very good. So the charges were dismissed against you.
Right, but not totally. What happened is he dropped the
1 second,
all the
Rico, because we can go on this. I can't have a full consultation with you on a live show. So let me 1 second.
okay.
I know you want to get your whole thing out, but let me just ask the questions. Did you plead guilty to something?
Yes.
What did you plead guilty to?
Financial structuring.
Financial. Okay. Was the all right? So some sort of financial fraud, I guess, is what you pled guilty to.
No,
Was
not financial fraud. Financial structuring.
All right. What state was this in? What state was this in?
I'm sorry?
Is this in New York?
New York, right.
Okay. So, all right. So, I don't know what you mean by financial structuring, but we'll get to that in a minute. Is that the only time you've ever been arrested in your life?
Yes.
Okay. Now, did they say that this scheme of financial structuring was in excess of $10,000 US?
Yes.
Okay. So that makes you an aggravated felon. Okay. So now.
No, I'm sorry. The aggravated felony goes when it is multiple. It's a single count. When it is multiple counts and it exceeds 100,000, that's what the statute states. So it's not an aggravated
Rico.
because it's a single count.
Rico.
Uh-huh.
Let me tell you what the statute states. If there's a financial fraud and the fraud to the victim is over $10,000 US, aggravated felony. So you can tell me what you think the statute states, and then I'm going to tell you exactly what it states.
No, I've read it. I have it right here. It's
Okay.
not.
Rico, so what is your question, Rico? If you're going to tell me what the law is, and I'm telling you the law is, what you're stating is the law is wrong. Okay, what you're stating is wrong. So ask your question now.
All right. So my question is: so I applied to adjust my status, basically,
And you got denied.
And I got denied.
Of course you did.
On the basis that they don't bring up any of the structuring charges, because that's not a deportable offense. What they brought up is the arrest, right? But there was no factual.
Okay, then let me tell you what they said. Okay, so what they said is that if there is evidence that you were ever engaged in the trafficking of drugs, past, present, or future, you didn't even have to plead guilty to it. That bars you from getting a green card. So it was much easier for them. They don't have to give you every reason in the decision to deny you. They just have to give you the easiest one for them. So the easiest one for them was this guy was arrested for trafficking in drugs, and you literally pled guilty to an aggravated felony. It wasn't trafficking. It was some sort of financial. Maybe you were the bookkeeper for Al Capone. What do I know? And or at least I'm just being facetious. And so they said you're a former drug trafficker. You don't entitled to a green card. That's what they said. So now it's your burden to prove I'm not a drug trafficker. It's your burden to prove I'm not an aggravated felon. I can tell you already you are. I could also tell you that as long as you didn't plead guilty to a drug offense, you're entitled to a waiver. You're not entitled to a waiver if they think that you are a prior drug trafficker. So my job as your attorney, if you were to hire me, I feel like this is Mission Impossible. Your job, should you wish to choose to accept it. I don't know if I'm going to accept it or not, but should I choose to accept it, my job would be to prove that you're not a former drug trafficker, that yes, you are an aggravated felon, and here's your hardship if you were deported, and you would be eligible for a waiver. I am telling you point blank, you can argue with me till you're blue in the face. The statute says fraud in excess of $10,000, aggravated felon. So hold on one second. Rico, hold on. You need help, okay? You need help in a lot of different ways. All right, 1-800-529-5465. Matt in Tucson, Arizona.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Not too bad. How are you?
Good. What's up?
So my wife and I are small business owners here in Arizona, and we are looking to bring one of our brothers from the Philippines over here to work for us, and just trying to figure out how all that works.
Well, it's problematic because you can't sponsor a family member. That's the problem. So conceivably, yes, if you have a small business and you have a job opportunity for somebody and they're not taking a job away from an American worker, you can always fill that position with a foreign worker and sponsor for a green card, putting that person over to work here as a permanent resident, offering them a job position in your company. The problem is that what the law says is that if you are a close relative of the employee that you're sponsoring, they're presuming that you are not opening the job to Americans, that you're never going to hire an American over your close family member, and therefore they don't allow close family members to do a job sponsorship. If you were to, if your brother-in-law was to be able to find a different business that has no relationship to him and they want to sponsor him, then the process would be filing a labor application, proving that he's not taking a job away from an American worker, proving that whoever's sponsoring him has the financial ability to pay him a salary. It'll be from the Philippines about a 3.5 year wait, and he would come and get his green card. But it's not going to be your company.
Got it.
All right, so hold on if you need help, though, okay? But that's really where it starts. He has to find someone else to sponsor him. All right. 1-800-529-5465. Mamuna in Detroit, Michigan.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm fine. How you doing?
Wonderful. What's up?
Okay. I'm calling you about my daughter. She got a student visa, and she went to the airport and tried to book a flight to come to New York, and she told her that her documents. And
what kind of visa does she have?
Student visa.
A student visa. So what is the airline saying that she has a problem with?
Yes. She went to Morocco. She was trying to push a plane from Morocco to New York.
She lives in Morocco?
No. She was from Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire. Ivory Coast.
Ivory Coast, but she's in Morocco now.
No, she's not. That was last Monday. She went back to Abidjan.
Okay. So what is the airline saying to her? What's the problem? Tell me the problem in 2 sentences.
The airline said they have a letter from the embassy that something was wrong with the visa.
Okay. What is the airport or airline saying is wrong with the visa?
I don't know. They didn't tell her. And she went back. That was last week. And she went back to Abidjan in the embassy. And the embassy people didn't find anything. They just said at the interview, because she asked her, she got scared. She told them that I'm not a bum.
You're not a bum?
Huh?
What do you mean you're not a bum? You say bum or bum?
Hello?
All right. So all right. I'm not sure what, all right. This is what I get. All right. Tell me, your daughter got a student visa. You went to buy her a plane ticket, and the airline said there's something wrong with this visa. We can't put you on the plane. And she went back to the embassy, and I'm not sure what happened at that point. You don't know what the problem is with the visa. Your daughter doesn't know. So what I would suggest we do is this, because this is the only way we're going to figure it out, okay? I'm not going to solve it right here. But is stay on hold. Let's have a consultation. Then we're going to have to call the embassy in the Ivory Coast, find out what the problem is, and then speak to your daughter after we speak to the person in charge, find out what the problem is, and then see how we can rectify it. Okay? So hold on 1 second.
All right.
Hold on. All right. Let's go to Lanny in Midland, Texas. Lanny.
Hello, sir. Good
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. What's happening?
Sir, we have an interview on Wednesday.
Who's we?
For the immigration, for the initial interview for the
Who's
for
we?
adjustment status.
You and your husband?
In El Paso. Yeah, no, my husband's not going. He's in the Philippines with the other girl.
Oh, you called me about this the other day.
Yeah,
I told you
I told you
you have to have a consultation with me. I'm not going to be able to solve it any better than I was last week. You need a consultation. Hold on.
But I'm waiting their call, but he didn't call me back.
Who didn't call you back?
They told me that after that I talked to you, and then there's a woman talked to me, and then she said, "Okay, I will call you."
Hold on. All right, we'll speak to you right now. All right, Tanya in the Bronx. Tanya.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you, Brad?
Good. What's going on?
I can hardly hear you. The feedback in your background is so horrible.
The feedback in the background is horrible. Huh. Is that for everybody?
I'm hearing you now.
You hear me now? Okay, good. What's going on?
Okay. Hi, Brad.
Yeah.
Nice show you have going on.
Thank you.
I'm okay. I'm just trying to ask a question for my friend.
Go ahead.
Everything's going back.
Go ahead.
Okay, my girlfriend, she put her paperwork in like almost 2 months ago, but she only got a letter addressed to her husband, claiming that they have received the petition for his wife, but just one letter. She didn't get any for herself. She wants to know what's the problem.
How much
she doesn't know what to do.
Okay, question for you. Sounds like she got the receipt for the I-130. Did she file an I-485?
Yes, she did everything.
Okay.
But they only sent one letter.
Did she pay $1,000? Did she pay $1,765?
She paid everything.
Okay. What she needs to do is go and check. I don't know what the problem is. Okay. So I mean, it could be 101 different problems. The first thing we got to do is figure out: did they receive all of the checks and the fees, and did they cash the check? If they cash the check, all of the case numbers will be on the check, and then we can follow through. So the first thing she has to do is either, if she bought it by a money order or by check, go to the bank or the place where she bought the money order, have them go trace the check and make sure it got cashed, and then bring that receipt, that copy of that cashed check or cashed money order to me, and then we can contact immigration and see what's going on. But the first thing I need is proof that everything was filed for and paid properly. I don't know what's going on. It sounds like to me they only accepted the I-130 and they didn't accept anything else, or the receipts got lost in the mail. I'm not sure. Tanya, you there?
Okay then. All
right, hold on. I don't know if she got that or not. Keisha in Long Island.
Oh, yes. Hello?
Keisha.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good. My question is the I824 form. My daughters, they were filed for, chain filing from their father's parents. But the father was here a couple of years. He overstayed. He got through up here last year, May. And the lawyer that was dealing with the case told the kid's father that they will get through shortly after him. They are down in Jamaica now, and my oldest daughter, she turned 21 last February. So the lawyers last told the father that they're waiting on the I824 form to be approved.
Question for you: How did the father get the green card? Who sponsored him?
Through his parents. His parents live in here.
All right. So children may be aging out soon. So
right.
his children may be aging out soon. I don't know what the lawyer's doing, but someone's got to start lighting a fire under immigration's tuchus. All right. So because we don't want the children to age out,
No, but the oldest one, she turned 21, and the lawyer advised him that he should pay for a form. That when she turns 21, she doesn't. She can still be eligible. He paid that form a couple of months ago.
Mm-hmm. And, it's possible that there's something called the Child Status Protection Act. It's very possible, but unless I actually see the documents, because you have to be able to do the I824 prior to her 21st birthday, and the priority dates need to be all current. It's possible that under the Child Status Protection Act, she's still okay. But again, until I see everything, I can't tell you 100%. So if you believe the lawyer, then yeah, then she'll be okay, because it's very possible.
So can she, because they're saying that the form has to be approved. Can the form be not approved for her?
She has to file for her green card before the 21st birthday. Under the Child Status Protection Act, filing the I824 would be doing that if it was done properly.
So the form that the father paid for, that says it will protect her when she turns 21, and if she still hasn't gotten through.
It's very possible if what the lawyer did and what you're explaining to me is correct. I can't tell you 100%. I don't want to say yes, everything is fine, and you wait another year and then find out it's not fine. Okay, based on what you're telling me, it sounds like she's protected under the Child Status Protection Act. But unless I actually physically look at the forms and calculate it, I couldn't tell you 100%.
Okay, then.
All right. So what I would suggest is if you're not happy with your lawyer, you switch. That's what people do.
Okay.
Hold on. All right. 1-800-529-5465. We're going to go to one more call. Camila in Long Island. Camila.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
I didn't know they were going to put me on the air, but I'll help. I'll ask the question.
Yep, you're on the air. Here you are.
Great. I'm trying to sponsor my aunt's 2 children that my aunt recently passed, and I would like to sponsor them to come here, and I want to take care of them.
Okay. They're orphans.
I had a consultation. I'm sorry?
They're orphans.
Your
aunt passed away?
My aunt passed away.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So they're orphans.
They're orphans. One's 12, one's 18.
Oh, the 18-year-old is a little too late now.
A little too late.
Yeah.
Okay. Now their dad is has a green card. He's a permanent resident here.
Okay. So how did the dad get his green card?
Through marriage.
So wouldn't it be easier for the dad's wife to file for them?
I think they're separated right now.
How long has the dad had a green card?
Like 10 years.
Isn't it easier for the dad to become a citizen and file for them? Does the dad want anything to do with them? Because that's really the first step. Because if the dad wants something to do with them, it is substantially easier and less money to just let the dad become a citizen and file for these kids before they're 21. If it's a situation where the dad is washing his hands of these kids, then for all intents and purposes, they're orphans. The 18-year-old is kind of out of luck. The 12-year-old you can bring as an orphan.
Right. So he said he would sponsor them to come with, under his green card, but I would be footing the financial responsibility. I would be like
you give a second affidavit of support. That's perfectly fine. And nobody questions who pays the filing fee, but the dad has to sign an affidavit of support, and then you would have to sign the second one.
Right, which is fine. That's the plan. But the lawyer we consulted said this would take 2 years, the process.
Yeah, except if the dad has to become a citizen, so we can make this go faster. So
if he's, then that's the best way.
Yeah, hold on one second. We'll help you. Hold on. All right. All right. 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465. I have my blocks here.
Blocks.
Hello, Kimmy Kim Kim.
Hello, Brad.
What's going on social media?
We've got a lot of good stuff happening. In terms, the rivalry is softening.
Everybody likes each other now.
Well, they're cordial. Vakisha stopped into the Spar Bernstein stream, even though she's normally a Brad Show Live girl. And
just to check it out and see what it is.
She said, "Hey, family, just coming to visit." Yeah. And then Beverly Thompson, who's a Spar Bernstein, was like, thanks for the visit, boo. And then Vakisha was like, okay, I'm going back home now.
Okay. So that's what's happening. There seems to be a thought.
International relations
going on between Bradshaw Live and Spar Bernstein. All right, so some of you may remember, by the way, we're going to be answering all of your immigration questions with Belgium. Kim is going to be answering your, she's going to answer anything. She's going to be asking your immigration questions of me in our Facebook feeds in about 15 minutes or so. So please leave all of your questions on our Facebook, I can't talk today, on our Facebook feed, whether it's Bradshaw Live or Spar and Bernstein. Please leave your questions on the feed, and Belgium Kim is going to ask them of me in the next 15 minutes. Every person who leaves their question, I promise you, we will answer it. Right now, we had spoken a little earlier today.
Yes.
With Jorge Narvaez. You may remember him. He was our YouTube influencer, social media influencer and activist we spoke with last week.
That's right.
And about his immigration story.
Yeah, and ICE raided his
ICE raided his dorm room, his apartment. He grew up not realizing he was illegal or out of status, and he only found out after he was in high school. It was a whole thing, but eventually he got his green card, and then eventually he did this song with his daughter that made it on YouTube, 30 million hits, and he ended up on America's Got Talent and Ellen DeGeneres, and he's now this big famous YouTube guy.
Okay.
So I said, you know what? I want to meet the daughter.
Yes.
I want to meet the daughter because she's so cute. I watched her in the video.
Yeah.
So he came back, Jorge Narvaez, with his daughter, talking about their situation, as well as the situation that the grandmother still finds herself in, battling cancer and an immigration case.
Oh my God.
Let's watch. Okay. So last week we spoke to social media influencer and activist Jorge Narvaez. His video went viral. He posted with his daughter Alexa singing the song Home when his daughter was just 6 years old. It received over 30 million views in just a matter of days. Since then, he's appeared with his daughter on America's Got Talent, the Ellen DeGeneres Show. We are joined again today by Jorge and his now 13-year-old daughter Alexa, who just came home from school. Alexa, Jorge, how are you?
Good.
Hi, everybody. What's going on?
Hi.
How's everybody doing?
So how was school today, Alexa? Good?
Good.
Good? So let me ask you a question. You go to school, you did this famous thing. You're on this video with 30 million people watching you. Do your friends know about this?
Yeah.
Yeah? So what do you have, like all these followers on YouTube? They like everybody want to be like your best friend in school, or they kind of like not really talk about it a lot?
Not really. They treat me like a normal human being.
Yeah.
And I like that. They treat me normal. I'm not treated special, and I'm just like everybody else, which is amazing.
Well, that's good.
I fit in so much.
That's good. That's great. So let me ask you a question. You were 6 years old. I'm sorry, Jorge. I really want to talk to Alexa. We're going to get to you in a minute.
No.
Okay?
I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be fine.
So you were 6 years old, and 30 million people are watching you on YouTube. When you were 6, did you know the enormity and how special that was to have 30 million people look at you singing on YouTube?
No, actually, I didn't even know 30 million was actually a number.
You didn't even know?
I only know like 200 numbers. That was it.
Yeah. When we went to we were on America's Got Talent. I think it was the guy, the bald guy. He was like, you know how many people watch you on the internet? It's like he's like 609. That was yeah.
I didn't know there was that. I was like, there's probably 609 people in the crowd because I thought that was a big number in my head.
How was it to meet Ellen? Was that kind of cool? What happened first? Did you meet Ellen first, or you were on America's Got Talent first?
I think I met Ellen first.
Yeah, we met Ellen first. Yeah.
And how was it to meet?
As soon as the video went viral, like a few days later, I literally got a call from Ellen DeGeneres' producer. I was on my way to a midterm. And at UCSD, and then we got the call, and I was like, dude, let's go. She's like, yeah, let's go.
I actually didn't know. I didn't know.
She wasn't old enough to be like, ooh, show. I mean, we didn't even watch the Ellen show at the time.
So you didn't know who she was. You just went on. You went on TV.
I watched a bunch of kids shows. Now.
TV. So you kind of grew up on your dad's channel. Your dad became this very well-known and famous you know, activist and influencer on YouTube, on Facebook, on social media. How'd you come up with Reality Changers, first of all? I never asked you that question.
The word Reality Changers actually comes from a nonprofit that I'm a founding member of here in San Diego, called Reality Changers, 2 words. And they focus on getting first-generation high school students into college. And I was one of those first-generation high school students. I was one of the original members. When I opened my channel, I named it Reality Changers because I love the idea of, like, the state of mind, you know, changing reality and being positive. So I thought from the very beginning that could be something I could share with my audience through my family, is changing our reality. And that's what we've been doing these past couple of years.
Time Magazine, when they saw your video, that went viral, and I'm quoting from Time Magazine, it says, "This is the reason why the internet was invented." That was in 2011. How did that make you feel?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you didn't know? Well, I'm just telling you that now. How does that make you feel? How does that make you feel?
It's amazing.
Yeah. How important is your heritage to you in your everyday life, walking around, and how important is your heritage in what you teach your family?
Very important. And the reason why is because it's about honoring the people that got you to where you are. My mom, my grandmother, her grandfather, people that have inspired us to move forward, and why not honor them? You know, I mean, you know this, Brad. Like, my mom has been through a lot of stuff through immigration,
right? And
the way that we talk about this at home is very honest, very raw, very real. Hey, look, we're not just being successful. We're not just changing reality for us, for our family. It's also for our mothers, for the people who don't have a voice in this country, for the people who wish they could have this platform and they don't. So I feel like it's my responsibility to educate my daughters to be leaders in our community, through whether it's online or offline.
Jorge, your dad, has his own immigration story, which I'm sure you're aware of, right, Alexa?
Yeah.
You're aware of his story, his immigration story. And then your grandma, you're close with your grandma?
Yeah, she actually just painted my nails right now, and
she just painted your.
Yeah, she painted my white, and I painted hers pink.
And do you know where she's from, your grandmother?
Guadalajara.
When did she get arrested by immigration? Do you remember how old you were?
2014.
2014.
Really? When she...
So you were about 9 or 10 years old, I guess, right?
Yeah, I was in 4th grade, I think, but I didn't really know growing up that my grandma actually was deported until like it.
Yeah.
When she had to spend time.
I didn't really explain to her. I mean, we would go to TJ and go visit her,
and I
but
thought it was normal.
It wasn't something necessary that I had to explain to a little girl about the complexity of immigration. I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
Why would you bring that up to a 9 or a 10-year-old?
But when it did happen,
you told her.
I told her.
What did you tell her about Grandma getting arrested because she was previously ordered deported?
God, man, I told her that Grandma's trying to reunite with us. She's trying to live with us because she wants to be with us, and she wants to grow with us, and she wants to see us grow. And because of that, there's a process that I told her that she has to go through. But they put her in this jail, and we're trying to get her out. And I mean, when the kid hears the word jail, right.
I've thought of a lot of bad things. I flipped out at first. I was like, why is my grandma in jail? She didn't do anything wrong. She didn't do any crime. She didn't kill somebody. And I was really confused as to someone who wants a new life, just because she didn't have papers, got deported and arrested. And I understand, like, now that I'm older, I'm like, you have to go to these things legally because you have to become a citizen as well and have to have papers. But definitely, so scared for my grandma when I found out that she was in jail.
What was it like to walk into the jail to see your grandmother behind bars? You said she never committed a crime.
You did come with us, right?
She never committed a crime, right? She was just here illegally.
Yeah, she went. She actually did go to the CCA with me.
Yeah.
Didn't you? Yeah, you did.
How did that feel? Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember it. It was really. It was like my stomach felt really heavy just looking at her, and she's not next to me. There's like a wall in between us, and I couldn't hug her. I couldn't kiss her. I could only talk to her, and I was crying. I was like, I was like, Grandma, why are you in jail? And she's like, I'll tell you later on, mija. You may not be able to understand it right now, but I'll be with you soon.
And Jorge, when you were bringing Alexa to jail, what did you tell her? Why is her grandmother in jail?
I just told her the truth.
Uh-huh.
But I gave her the kids' version.
Right.
You know, I told her that she's trying to come back, but in this country, this is the process to try to come back. Mm-hmm. And it's unfortunate because she was put in. She knew about this. She was put in shackles. You know, I mean, when you visualize your mother being put in chains with a jail uniform, just because he's trying to live a better life, it really messes with your head, and it makes you want to fight for them even more.
Right.
So, without hesitation, I took her to protest with me. I took her to march with her. She was my daughters were both there when my mom was released.
So you had protests on behalf of your mother. Tell me about the protest and how you organized it.
We had vigils. Sorry, we had vigils.
Tell me about the vigil and how did you organize it?
Well, it was another group of people who were also doing vigils for other women who were apprehended, and we were in solidarity with all of them. But and you know, what better way to educate my kids about compassion and empathy than to show them that these people mean good, you know, and my mom means good. This vigil is a good thing. We're just raising our voices for those who don't have a voice, and that's just goes back to the way that I want to teach my kids to be good people, you know, to see people from a different perspective and not from a border or a line.
What were the conditions that you saw your mother was in jail, and what were the conditions that your mother told you about her living in that jail? How was she treated?
Man, I am absolutely disappointed with the way that my mom was treated in the detention center. I mean, there are a lot of needs that certain women have at certain times of the month, and certain things they need at certain times, and some of those needs weren't met for some of these people. And my mom even told me one of the women even had a seizure while she was in there. One of them wanted to quit, and my mom was a person that was in there saying, no, don't give up, don't give up, don't give up, because there is, and it's so sad, but being in there is such a mental, it's so traumatizing. It's such a spiritually defeating feeling that you just want to quit. But my mom didn't quit. If anything, she was the one that was organizing everybody together. She made a, because they don't even have hairbrushes for women in there.
Right.
Can you believe that? Like hygienic stuff.
No.
And my mom made a hairbrush with her glasses. She took the I don't know how she did it, but just to feel a little bit more human. No. You know?
Yeah, and you said the right word, human. Nobody realizes how dehumanizing and how poorly treated people are treated in immigration jails. They're treated worse than being in a criminal jail. Most criminal jails are nicer and people are treated better than in immigration jails. People who commit crimes who then have to be sent over to immigration jail would much prefer to be in any criminal jail than they would in an immigration jail. And now here are people like your mother who have never committed a crime. What was their crime? They want to be with their family? What was their crime? They're trying to go work at a job that no Americans want? What was their crime? They're trying to avoid getting killed in their country, so they're trying to escape, to be treated like cattle, and not given human decency, a hairbrush, things for women for that time of month. I mean, you can go on and on and on. The conditions, if Americans saw on a regular basis the conditions that are occurring in immigration jail, they would be horrified. It's what you would think you would find in a third world country where they take prisoners that have no human rights and they put them in a dungeon and throw away the key, literally. And
what do you think about that, Alex?
It's so frustrating to see that my grandma had to fight to be in this country, just to literally be in this country. So she had to fight so she could be with her family, and now she has to fight for her life.
Yes.
It's so frustrating, and it makes me so sad that she still has to go through this. Her and so many other people so many other individuals that are human. They have personalities. They have feelings. They cry. They are angry. They have families that they care about. To go through this, it's unacceptable, and it's not.
It's
okay
un-American, honestly.
And the American dream is. I remember growing up and be like, you know, the American dream is amazing. You know, I was like, people come here from other countries and they try to start at a better place. But now that I'm older and the realization of this world, it's disgusting. It's the American dream for pretty much nobody.
Well, it's certainly not the American dream for people who want to try to come to America to make a better life for themselves, not with President Trump as our president of the United States. Let me ask you one other question. Your grandmother, she has cancer now. How is she doing?
You know, it's really crazy. My grandma just told me today that her hair started falling off.
You saw it.
Yeah. That's from
the
chemotherapy.
How much hair did you see?
It's like this much, and
clump.
It came from my hairbrush. And to be honest, I didn't really know how to react. I literally walked into my room and I literally just closed my door and I started crying. Because she just told me, we might have to shave her hair today. And
yeah,
I've never really had to witness having my family, someone close to me, die. I've had my great grandmother, but I never really knew her that well. But I was still sad. But I straight up bursted into tears. Like, it was an hour ago. I couldn't handle the fact that my grandma just had to go through this. Her beautiful hair, her beautiful body is being messed up. Mm-hmm. And just even think about it really makes me sad.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that she has to, it makes me think of what my mom went through when she was incarcerated and how desperate some of the moms were in there just to feel a little human. They want to brush their hair. They want to they want to, change their clothes, change their underwear, little basic stuff. And then for my mom to revisit that feeling again during chemo and to know that something that is precious to some people, her hair, it's part of her identity. It's coming off. It's like, that's why we're frustrated, man. That's why we're tired, because my mom has been through back to back things because of a broken system.
Right.
Whether it's the healthcare system, whether it's our food that we're eating, or whether it's the immigration system. And it makes me angry. And I'm so proud. I'm proud that I'm able to talk to you and I'm able to have my daughter here and have this conversation, because that's how in my opinion, we're supposed to teach our kids to be edgy, to be smart, to be witty, to be wise, to not be afraid. And the way that women are being treated in our country compared to other countries, it's embarrassing. And that's exactly why I go above and beyond to bring my daughter into this. Yeah, it's hard. You're probably thinking, she shouldn't know about these things. Maybe, but you know what? Sometimes they make them stronger. It's not trauma. It's empowerment to be a voice for other people. And it makes me proud to hear her talk, because she's smart, dude. She's a smart kid, and so is my daughter. And kids like her deserve to be heard, because they're also going through this pain. When you deport somebody, when somebody's incarcerated over something they didn't do, it destroys everybody from the inside. Everybody, not just me, not just the person, not just the immigrant, but the community, the conscience.
I can't say it any better than what you did, and you said it very passionately and eloquently. Your mom, just for everyone to know, she is in America now. She is in the process of getting her green card. She's gone through a lot. She was in detention in 2014. When was she diagnosed with cancer?
Just a few months ago.
Just a few months ago. Do you think, is there anything in your mind, in the back of your mind, that says, maybe all the stress and that she went through caused, crazy, or you just think it was just one has nothing to do with the other?
No, I agree. Dude, my mama had already gone through surgery. They cut a piece of her intestine because it was twisted. She's already going through colitis. She already had that problem with her. So imagine going into the jail, Arizona Detention Center and also here in San Diego, with that colitis, with that pain, and she wasn't even given her medicine on time. They didn't even give her medicine until like a week later. And guess what? My mom was in pain the whole entire time. But and I mean, it infuriates me because it's still happening today, when these quote unquote caravans that are bringing people to the border, and then they're being seeking for asylum. They're put in an Arizona detention center, and then they're in there. They put them in chains, dude. I don't think people understand that. They're put in chains. My mom was put in chains. She never committed a serious crime like that. Why would they even?
She never committed a crime. Period. There's no crime that was ever committed. Yeah. Being out of status in America is not a crime. There was no crime ever committed by your mom. Now, what happens? I'll tell you what happens in the United States, which people don't realize. All of the immigration jails are privatized jails. They are jails that the U.S. government pays a company to run on behalf of the U.S. government to hold immigrants. The companies have only one rule: make as much money as they can. They don't care about the person as a human being. They don't care about human rights. They don't care about civil rights. They don't care about people's comfort. As a private company, what they say is, we are going to keep the person alive. That's our only thing until they get deported. We don't care anything else, because every penny, if we give them a hairbrush, if we give them a maxi pad, that's money out of the profit from that company. That is why
inhuman.
It is inhuman, and that is why
I had to give my mom. I had to give my mom, I think, like $100, just so she can not only call us, but she needed the money to pay for tampons.
That's right. She has to pay for it.
Tampons cost money.
That's right.
In a jail.
That's right. And if you don't have money, too bad. And there's a lot of people who unfortunately don't have a son in the United States to give money, and then they got a problem. And these private this is not the U.S. government jailing. This is a private company.
And you know what? It's a perfect thing for them, because they get all these non-English speakers that go into these jails, and they don't want to talk about what they went through. You know, why do you think my mom is writing a book right now about what she went through? She's gonna finish writing it. Do you think cancer is gonna stop her from being out loud and having a voice? Hell no.
No.
If anything, we're stronger now because of what she's going through. But we're tired. I just want my mom to become a citizen. I just want her to be here. She's been here since she was 16. Right. This is over.
And she's how old? And she's how old now?
She's 49.
49. She's been here since she was 16. Never committed a crime, and they stick her in jail for 3 months to try to deport her. Huh. It's terrible.
It's ridiculous.
It's terrible. Well, I can tell you, based on our private conversations, that she sounds like she's on her way, and you know, we just wish her the best in terms of getting better health-wise. She's been through a lot. She has been through a lot. She's my age, and she's been through 7 lives that I've been through already. And she has suffered, and we just want her to be better and be able to enjoy and live out the rest of her life with her family, and that's what we all pray for.
Anything you want to say?
I think people really need to realize what is going on. We live in a very privileged country, to be honest. And it's really important that we know about these things, and especially for those people, for people who are immigrants that didn't even know they were immigrants until later on, and then they end up becoming deported, yet they lived their whole life here in America. It's sad, because they should never, no one ever deserves that.
And not only does no one deserve it, but the United States allowed this to happen. They allowed your grandmother to live here out of status from 16 to 49 before they jail her. They allow people to have families, to build a life for themselves, just to rip them out of their lives and throw them in jail 30, 40 years later. It's terrible.
It's traumatizing. It's inhuman. If I was to definitely explain what this is, it's one word, and it's inhuman.
It is. It is. And hopefully we'll be able to have more conversations, not only with you, but other people, and be able to put a spotlight on what is a really terrible, terrible thing that's going on in this country.
This needs to stop. And I really think that it really needs to change.
Things need to change.
I can't say it any better. Well, hopefully it's going to start with young people like yourself, who have a lot of brains and a lot of smarts and a lot of really good things to say. So hopefully it starts with you and your friends and your colleagues and everybody around the United States, because it's going to be you, the 13-year-olds of the world, who are going to eventually turn 18, 19, 20, 21, who hopefully will make a change. Jorge, Alexa, thank you very much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Okay. All right, just so you know, it's such a moving thing, but also it's such a real thing. And by the way, this is a real thing that so many families go through. I bet you I can get a different family to come on every day for 365 days and hear what is their most traumatic and sad and emotional story about going through this deportation process, being jailed, never having committed a crime. I've had clients who were denied medical care in immigration jail. I've had clients who were literally let out the door because they were going to die. And these companies didn't want the person to die in the jail and just literally opened the door, and they had to be rushed to a hospital to be resuscitated. So until that happens, you know, you're basically, you know, no rights in a jail run by a private company. Now, Esther ultimately, that's Jorge's mom, Alexa's grandmother, Esther, she'll ultimately get her green card. She went through a lot, and now she's actually going through the fight of her life after the colitis and now cancer. I understand over the weekend we saw pictures. She shaved her head over this weekend, so she's going through her cancer fight right now. We all pray for her speedy recovery. There is a GoFundMe page. Belgium Kim has that information.
There is, yeah. The link to the GoFundMe is gofundme.com/savemymomfromBreast
Can you say that again, because you were off camera?
Absolutely. It's www.gofundme.com/savemymomfrombreastcancer. It's right there at the bottom. I've also included the link in the comments. Make sure to click. As you guys know, with stuff like this, any little bit helps them. So absolutely go check that out.
All right. So with that said, please leave all of your questions in our comments section. I have Sharon, who's on hold from Fort Lauderdale. We're going to get to Sharon in about 15 seconds. And right after Sharon, we're going to go right into social media questions, answering your immigration questions. Kimmy, Kim, Belgium Kim, social media queen, Kim.
Yes.
All of the above is going to be asking your questions of me, and I will be answering them for free. So tell your friends to tell a friend to tell a friend. Now's the time to share. Now we're getting into our rapid social media questions. We're going to go boom, boom, boom. I hear we have a lot. So please share this with your friends and family. Let them know that I'm going to be answering all of their immigration questions for free. But right now we're going to go to Sharon in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Sharon.
Pleasant good afternoon, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay, thanks. Just in a bit of jam now that I would like your help.
Okay, what's going on?
I got married about 9 months ago to a U.S. citizen. He recently passed before he petitioned for me. Is there any way I can be petitioned for?
Yeah, well, first of all, my condolences on his death. He already filed the application.
Thank you very much.
He already filed the application for you?
No, we have not. They have not yet put in any papers.
Okay. And when did he pass?
He passed Saturday gone.
Oh, like a week ago. Oh, I'm so sorry. He's still mourning. Well, let me say this. As far as immigration is concerned, as long as you can prove it was a bona fide marriage, you can file an adjustment and a widow petition, and you can get your green card. You have to do it within 2 years of his death. It just happened a week ago, so you have some time, but you don't have forever. So the answer is yes, we can get you your green card, provided we can prove it was a bona fide marriage. It's all that's required.
Thank you very much, Brad. You have been such a help for me. Have a good afternoon.
All right. Now, Sharon, I'm going to put you on hold. There's no rush. You need to go through the morning. But when you're ready, we can handle it even for you down in Florida. So hold on 1 second.
I would really appreciate that.
Okay, hold on. All right. 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465. I got in a melancholy mood now.
Yeah, that was a lot of sad
a lot of sadness going on now the last 30 minutes in this show. All right, let's see if we can pick up, you watch this, you get sad, and then you speak to Sharon and her father passed, and, all All right, let's try to get make people happy and try to help as many people as we can. Let's start.
Okay, we've got Orlando who says, I'm a green card holder, but I have a misdemeanor conviction on domestic violence with no jail time, which I'm currently appealing and awaiting a court date. It's a two-parter. His first question is, can I travel outside of America?
You have a misdemeanor pending? Is this his first?
It's the appeal for the misdemeanor, and it does seem to be his first.
Don't travel. Even though an appeal could be considered not a final conviction, I wouldn't travel and take that risk and be put in deportation at the airport.
And his second question is, could I become a U.S. citizen? I received my green card about 5 years ago now.
No, because you have a misdemeanor on appeal. That means there's a pending case, so you can't show good moral character with a pending case. What's the misdemeanor for?
Domestic violence.
Definitely don't, because the domestic violence could be a deportable offense. Okay, so definitely. Now, if this is in New York, what I would suggest is we have really good criminal defense attorneys, Jake Hudnut, David Moreno, Paul Hirsch. Let us take a look at this appeal.
Simona says, hey, Brad, quick question. We'll be the judge of that.
Quick question in 71 parts. It's a little smaller than a Shakespeare
than a sonnet.
But nevertheless, here goes.
Not by much. Yeah. Simona says, do you have to send in 3 years of tax information for an affidavit of support for your spouse? Even if you already have 2 sponsors, could you just send in the most recent one if you have that many sponsors?
You can do the 864 Easy, and you can only have to do one tax return on the Easy form, or you can do the regular 864 and do all 3. But if you have a second person giving an affidavit of support and they're making $10 million a year, then who cares what your tax returns show?
Maureen says, good afternoon. My son has done his affidavit for me this month in the first week of April. I'm Jamaican, living and working in the Bahamas. How long from now should I expect to hear from immigration? My process started last year in June.
Well, if your son did everything properly, you're at the end. Your I-130 is approved. Your biographic data has been done. The fees have been paid. He's submitted the affidavit of support. Hopefully he submitted all the other required documentation. If he did everything properly, then National Visa Center should take about 8 weeks to review it, send it down. Now you're in Bahamas, but you're going to have to go back to Jamaica for your green card. Figure 4 or 5 months you should be getting your green card interview, maybe less.
We've got a question from Karkush who says, what forms do you need to send in to file for your parent and step-parent who are both out of status? Do you need to send in the same forms for the parent and the step-parent, and do I send them at the same time?
Yes, same forms. It's 2 separate applications. One application for your parent, one application for your step-parent. For them to qualify as your step-parent, they would have had to have married before your 18th birthday. If they're in the United States, you're going to do one adjustment for your mom and one adjustment for the stepdad. I think that's what it is? Yes.
Correct. Natisha says, I'm married for 2 years now. I got my green card, my 10-year green card, and my husband filed for me and my 3 kids. And my 18-year-old just got a green card. Why?
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 Why did my 18-year-old just get a green card?
Listen.
What is the... what kind of question is that? Because your husband maybe filed later.
For them.
They're all separate applications.
I'm assuming that we are missing a knot somewhere, and what I think it was that the kids got it. She got her green card. The 18-year-old did not. That's total assumption, but I think that's what's happening.
Okay, so I don't know why you got it. I mean, it's like, Brad, I have my car's not starting. Why? Why? Well, I don't know. Maybe there's no gas. Maybe there's something wrong with the gasket. You know, it's always gaskets. Is it plugged in? Maybe you have a Tesla. You know, maybe there's something wrong with the carburetor. Right. It could be 101 reasons. Why is my car not starting, Kim?
Because do you have a car?
No, I do have a car. I mean, that's way.
It's the first question, though. It's a good first question.
Why is my car not starting?
Yeah. We've got somebody in the comments, Demba, who is very impressed by how multilingual our comments are. There's French, there's Spanish, there's English.
Oh, bonjour.
Bonjour, Demba. Yes. Comment ça va, Monsieur Demba?
Hola, mi amigo, mi amiga, right?
Right, yeah,
What else?
exactly.
What else? We got Spanish, French. What else?
I'm sure we got some patois in here. Wagwan.
Patois, wagwan. Wagwan.
Wagwan.
Yeah.
We can't be the only two people in here and speaking patois.
I can't speak patois. I can't speak patois. I can understand it though.
Yeah, that's kind of where I've been in the comments.
I can understand patois. So if someone talks really thick patois, I got it.
You got it.
What I can't do is I can't speak it back.
You understand even spoken patois? I got the writing.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Ooh, that's impressive.
Yeah.
I'm not quite
right,
there
now
yet.
watch somebody call and speak patois. And say, what?
No idea.
What did you just say?
Oh, please someone call in and speak patois. Maureen says, my sister is a U.S. citizen and she wants to file for our mom, but she received food stamps. So sister is a U.S. citizen and sister is receiving food stamps and insurance, but then says, but she hasn't received public assistance.
Wait, you're getting food stamps, you're getting public assistance.
Right, I think
Wagwan there.
Wagwan
there. You can't. Wagwan, man. You can't get food stamps and say I'm not getting public assistance unless she's saying it's not public assistance for her, it's for the children. Is that it?
Maybe, but it doesn't say that she has kids, that the sister has kids.
All right. So
basically what we're saying here
what
is
the
food
question?
stamps equals public assistance.
Right. So then the whole basis of the question is off.
But is it
So now what
is it a problem to file for mom when you're receiving food stamps?
Yes, it is a problem. It is a problem.
Natisha, thank you so much for giving me a follow-up. So the question that we couldn't understand, the 18-year-old son only received a 2-year green card, whereas everyone else got a 10-year green card.
Did they all get it at the same time?
It does seem that way.
Okay, then it's a mistake.
My husband filed for my 3 kids, and my 18-year-old got a 2-year green card.
Okay, so then look at the 18-year-old's green card, and the date, it'll say on the date when the 18-year-old got the permanent residence, when it was granted. If that date is more than 2 years after the date of your marriage, that green card was issued in error. You're going to do an I-90 and check off the box, issued in error, marriage occurred more than 2 years ago. If on the other hand, it happened less than 2 years and everyone's green card was issued less than 2 years, maybe your green card was issued in error and his was issued right. It all depends. It all depends on what is the date of marriage and what is the date the permanent residence was granted. If the permanent residence was granted more than 2 years after the date of marriage, then it's permanent resident. If it was granted less than 2 years, then a conditional resident.
Got it. Maureen did in fact follow up. She's receiving the food stamps and the insurance for her kids.
That's what I figured. It's not as big a problem as if it's for the kids as if it's for you. File for mom quickly. I will tell you that Donald Trump and Mr. Sessions has talked about it becoming a problem for you. It is not a problem yet. It may be a problem in the future.
Taylor T. Hines says, my friend put in her paperwork about 2 months ago. She only received 1 mailing address to the husband stating that they got the petition for his wife, but nothing has been addressed to her. What should she do? Should she be concerned?
Say it again.
So they received what sounds like they received a receipt.
I think they called on the phone. They got the I-130 receipt but didn't get the adjustment receipt. And I told them, go see if the checks were cashed.
Oh, maybe that is her issue.
Us, yes.
She says that she's saying that hubby got something.
Right. So the hubby got the I-130.
Right.
Okay, the I-130 is by the hubby.
Gotcha.
So hubby gets the petition because the hubby files the I-130. She files the adjustment for her interview. That's something she should receive. She didn't get it. So now the question becomes, what happened to it? So either it got lost in the mail, which is possible, or you did it wrong and immigration didn't accept the filing fees. So you got to go look to see what filing fees were cashed first before you determine what the next step is.
Lisa says, should the G325A needs to be sent in with the adjustment of status or later?
Not anymore. Now with the new I-130, you don't need the G325A. No G325A.
What is a G325A?
You're on a need-to-know basis.
Okay, that's fair.
She needs to know no G3. Now, it's the biographic data forms, but it's been replaced now with the I-130, so you don't need to do it twice.
Oh, okay. Thelma says, I filed a petition for my sister and her family. Is there some kind of way to expedite her petition, and could you help with that situation? The wait is forever.
No expediting. You got to wait online. Maybe there's another way to get a green card other than through you, and that's something you may want to have a consultation with me about.
Expediting it would be maybe changing the way that we filed in the first place.
Correct.
Julie has a question. She says, I'm a green card holder and I was able to file a petition for my son under F2A when he was 20 years old, and it was approved. Then they asked me to submit all the documents needed. I did. What surprised me was that they returned all the documents that they requested, and when I asked them why, USCIS said that my son's application was moved to an F2B status. Could you tell me what I need to do and why that was the case?
Yeah, because your son turned 21. So F2A is one status, F2B is another. Once you turn 21, it's a different waiting time. So now you're going to be, your son unfortunately is going to be waiting about 5-6 more years than as an F2A. It's either that, you know, unfortunately you got your green card late in his life, and therefore when you turned around to file for him, it was already 21 by the time it was approved, or you were lackadaisical, you've had your green card for 15 years and you just decided to do it now when he was 20. I don't know, but now he's 21. So he's F2B. That's the waiting time. That's what happens. Let's do one more. Okay. And then I want to speak to, who is this? Charlene in Euclid, Ohio.
Okay.
And then I got Jake Hudnut here. And then we'll finish up with more social media. That's the plan.
Good programming.
Thank you. Good programming.
Ulrich. Our last question right now goes to Ulrich, who says, could I use the I-130 receipt that I got and get a driver's license with that?
No, you can't do that. You can only get a driver's license with a work permit. All right, so let's now, if you're eligible to adjust, different story. All right, let's go to Charlene in Euclid, Ohio. Charlene.
Hi, Brad.
How are you? How you doing?
I'm good. I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
I filed for my husband. I sent in all the paperwork they needed, but the other day called support. They sent it back and said I'm not making enough money above the poverty line, which is 125%. My question is they going off for the gross income or annual income? My house size is 4.
Wait, say that again. Your question is what? I didn't hear the last part.
My question is they going off for the gross income or my annual salary?
They're going off on the net income after all your deductions and expenses.
The net, okay.
Yeah.
And then my house size is 4. Could you tell me what's the poverty guideline for 125%?
Your household is 4? What's the poverty guideline for 4 people? I got to look it up, but it's probably close to 30,000. Let's see. Poverty, probably. Let me see. Poverty guidelines, 2018, and for 4 people, it's 25,000. 125% of that. Add another 5. Yeah, it's about 30,000, approximately. I'm doing the math in my head. Figure $31,000.
$31,000.
Yeah,
okay.
It's a little less, but figure 31.
Okay. Then if I get a joint sponsor,
right,
and the person her household is 2, and she makes like 23.
Not enough, because now your family is 6. You see how it works? No.
Okay.
All right. So you need to find somebody with like a family of 2 who makes like 45,000.
45,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
okay. Right. Thanks. Are you gonna say is it gross? You say or the annual?
It's the net.
So if it's
in other words, let's say for example, there's 2 possibilities here. Okay. One possibility is, let's say you have your own business, you're 1099, or you have your own business, you're a small business, and you make $90,000, but after you pay your rent and your telephone and computer and your advertising, what your taxable income is $12,000. That's what they're going on, what your taxable income is, not the 90. Or let's say perhaps you're a salaried employee, you get a W-2, you make $90,000, but you own all this real estate and took all these losses in real estate, and now you have a loss like Donald Trump did for 27 years. Okay, now your income is 0.
Okay. All right, I got you.
All right.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. 1-800-529-5465. Monica in Seattle.
Hi.
Hi.
I was wondering, my husband originally got an asylum, and the asylum turned into a residency, and he has a green card at the moment. But we want to pursue his citizenship. But the only thing that we're kind of weary of, and we've been waiting a couple of years now, is because he owes taxes. How likely are they going to use that against him in decision-wise?
They will use it. You owe taxes, it's going to be a problem. How much does he owe?
I think it's like $7,000.
All right. So what are the two? Either just pay it, or you can hold on, have a free consultation with Carmela. She's one of my tax attorneys here. She does what's called offering compromise, and she can see if she can wipe it away for you. All right? So
okay, that's awesome. All right, sounds good.
Hold on. All right. 1-800-529-5465. So I wanted, because of what happened with Jorge and Esther's mom, and the jail conditions in detention, we had Jake Hudnut come on a few weeks ago. He wrote an op-ed about the jail conditions right here across the river in Hoboken, where they also jail immigrants, and what he did to improve the jail conditions in Hoboken. Let's watch. When you're incarcerated, you have certain rights. You have rights to medical treatment, humane treatment. You have the right to life. You have the right to live. Unfortunately, and this in Hudson County Jail, many people are saying that incarceration in Hudson County Jail in New Jersey is turning into a death sentence. There have been over 6 deaths in Hudson County Jail in the last year alone. And Jacob Hudnut is with us today. He's one of our fantastic criminal defense attorneys. And when you hear these stories, any person who hears these stories about people who get arrested on minor offenses who end up dying in the jail that you see right behind us would be appalled. Jacob Hudnut was not only appalled, he wrote a recent op-ed article in New Jersey, and it led to some changes at the Hudson County Jail. So Hudson County Jail is a holding jail. Tell us what that means.
Yes, Brad. Hi. Great to be here.
How are you? Thank you. I want to get right into it, but yes.
No, it's a hot topic.
Yeah.
Makes sense to jump right in. Hudson County's not far from here, probably about 2 miles as the crow flies, right across the river. And it's a county jail, so people there are either awaiting trial for any number of types of crimes, or they've been sentenced to 1 year or less. And as many of our immigration attorneys are aware, Hudson County is a major holding facility for aliens with ICE detainers.
So not only is it people with minor offenses who would be sentenced to less than a year in jail, it's anybody who is being held for deportation, and their offense could have been, I just overstayed on my visa.
Yes.
So what are the rights that inmates have, and what is Hudson County doing to violate their rights?
Sure. So the Eighth Amendment protects all of us from against cruel and unusual punishment, and that extends to people that are in jail. Folks in jail have a right to humane treatment, clean facilities, much to the chagrin of Sam, what is Sam? He's a hedgehog, right?
He's a groundhog.
He's a groundhog.
Sam is a groundhog.
So prisoners have the right to be free from vermin. Okay.
So Sam would not be allowed to go in.
No dice.
Right,
no
right,
good.
Right. Okay.
Clean water, heat, things like that. Taking it even further, courts have found that people in prison have to have the right to be able to lodge complaints. Clearly, they have to be free from assault, whether it's physical or sexual assault. If they have a disability, the American with Disabilities Act applies to those individuals, and they must be accommodated. And most importantly, particularly with some of the incidents in Hudson County, inmates in jail have a right to medical care and treatment, and that includes mental health treatment if they require it while they're in custody.
Now, how many prisoners go through Hudson County? Do you have an idea?
Sure. Yeah, I think it's the facility holds 2,100 people. Jersey's done some bail reform recently, so that number's gone down. And unfortunately, and this is a great topic for another day, the county's kind of made up for that by renting space out to ICE.
So 2,100 inmates, and of the 2,100 inmates that have gone through that they can hold, is it 6 have passed in the last year?
It's 5 this year.
5
if
this
you
year.
go back to 2016, the number becomes 6.
The number becomes 6 in about a year and a half.
Yes.
Okay. So 6 deaths out of 2,100 inmates. That's about 3 or 4% of the, I don't know, it's like 3% of the inmate population.
And 3 this year alone.
And 3 this year alone. And most of these people were not elderly people who were 80 years old and, you know, were coming in frail to begin with. These were healthy men and possibly women as well who died while in custody. That is a large percentage. Now you, Jay Cudnut, shine some light on this. People were not aware of what was going on until you wrote your op-ed article in the Jersey Journal. Tell us what you did to shine a light on all of this.
Sure. Well, the information was kind of coming out in bits and pieces. The Jersey Journal was covering it, but that was just one reporter's voice. I've been lucky to be very involved in Jersey City and Hudson County politics, and also as a criminal defense attorney. I cut my teeth in Jersey City. I decided to kind of compile this list, and the first sentence of my op-ed was, here's a sentence that can't be repeated enough in Hudson County right now. 5 people have died in the past 8 months, because I really wanted people to understand those 2 numbers. 5 people in 8 months in one county jail. I did some research to issues that have been going on in county jails across the country the past few years, and there was nothing like that. There was controversies over 1 person dying, let alone 5 in 8 months. So I wrote that article. I called on the county to take a more proactive step. I called on our mayor, who's a progressive, to push the county leadership to take action. And I suggested that if that doesn't work, that the state or federal government should step in.
Was there any correlation between one death and the next? What was the nature of the different deaths? How did each person die? And did you see any correlation between their deaths and what caused their deaths and what's happening inside the jail there?
Sure. I think 2 things come to mind. First, autopsies weren't performed on all of them, which was very strange. One of the individuals that I wrote about, who was actually being held on an ICE detainer and had committed no crime at all.
He was just an overstay on a visa.
I don't know. Presumably.
Presumably he was an overstay on a visa. He was out of status. Maybe he ran across the border illegally. But he was a civil offense that this man was being held for. He never actually committed a criminal penal offense in the United States of America.
True.
And he looks like a pretty young guy, looks my age almost.
Just to put a point on it, he was picked up by ICE at his job out on Long Island, I believe. So this was just a guy going about his day when he got arrested.
And that's his family there.
So
who he was living with in Long Island.
Yes, I believe this is Mr. Espinoza, and he was only 35 years old.
35 years old.
So there wasn't a clear procedure for medical records being handled. Secondly, many of these were suicides. And so that raises the mental health component that I raised earlier.
So we don't know how Mr. Espinoza died?
It appeared to be gastrointestinal bleeding, but there's no official cause of death.
So it was perhaps poor medical care or no medical care.
Yes. But again, and he died in June 2017, and the fact that almost a year later there was no autopsy, I thought was something that was rather bizarre.
Well, nobody, it's not bizarre, it's quite obvious why they would do that.
Sure.
Nobody wants to be blamed for this man's death, so if there's no autopsy, nobody can be blamed why he died. Once you get a cause of death, now we can start placing blame. Everybody wants to keep this hush-hush, quiet. I mean, there are people who are being picked up from their jobs. There is documented evidence of people being picked up for their jobs, being put in jail, never having committed a penal offense, a criminal offense in the United States, and dying in this jail, and young men, 35 years old. So what did this op-ed article that you did do? How did it make any changes?
It did. The mayor of Jersey City, who has somewhat of a statewide profile, he had a short stint running for governor about 2 years ago. He retweeted it and wrote that he agreed with me and that county leadership needed to be more progressive on this issue. And the Freeholder Board, which is sort of the county leadership structure in New Jersey, kind of sprung into action and instituted a number of changes.
What were the changes they made, and are they sufficient enough?
I think they're definitely moving in the right direction. And 4 workers were discharged.
Why were they discharged, do you know?
I believe the handling of medical issues and medical health individuals. 2 nurses were disciplined. I don't know for what specifically. 4 more are on administrative leave pending further investigation. A complete audit of medical records was ordered.
Who ordered all of this?
The county. So
who owns this jail? Is it the county, or is this an outside contractor?
The county.
The county owns this.
Yes.
This is a government-run facility.
Yes, there's been no privatization yet. Or hopefully there won't be, but that's another conversation. Cameras were ordered in the cells of all those on suicide watch. Doors will remain open to the cells of those that are on suicide watch until they are fitted with clear glass doors.
And all of this, simple things to make it humane to be in a jail, all because of your zealous advocacy. And it was unselfish advocacy in the sense that nobody was paying you to do this. Nobody asked you to do this. You saw something wrong and you took it upon yourself to do something about it.
Sure. And I want to be clear, there was a number of county activists involved, but I feel like the op-ed sort of put all this information in one place. And it needed to be done. And I often say a good criminal defense attorney's work isn't limited to the courtroom. It's not just verdicts and rulings from the judge. It must extend beyond the courtroom, particularly in the current climate in America where people are becoming more and more aware of the rights of the accused and rehabilitation of those offenders. People aren't going to stand for folks dying in jail.
And I will say this, and I tell, you know, when I have young attorneys who come and see me and they say to me, Brad, what marks a successful attorney? And I always say this to everybody, and here's a perfect example. There's lots of lawyers out there who know the law. There's not a lot of lawyers out there who know the law and will fight for your client. And fighting doesn't mean yelling and screaming. Fighting means doing what is the most important thing for your client and the right thing for your client, and working hard. Hard meaning putting your time and effort into it. And here's Jacob Hudnut, who didn't even have a client who passed, but said, I may have clients in the future who are here, and the clients who I have plus everybody else deserves humane treatment at Hudson County Jail. He shined a light on this, and there have been a lot of changes. What more additional changes do you think need to happen?
I think there needs to be, I want to see some progressives start running the county, people that are tapped in with the current consciousness on the rights of the accused and rehabilitation of offenders. I think when we have more progressives like that in leadership, then we'll have institutions like jails and criminal courts run more effectively. And look, one of the things I emphasized in the op-ed, and I think it's important for folks listening to know, is these 2 of these individuals, actually, I'll say it this way, of the 6, only 1 was accused of a violent crime.
They were all other petty offenses or immigration violations.
2 of the women were traffic offenses. 1 was driving while intoxicated. That's not a crime in New Jersey. That's a traffic offense. That's not part of your criminal record. Another was being held on an old bench warrant for driving while suspended. And they're gone now. This could easily be our friends, families, loved ones, neighbors.
And it sounds like to me it's all that somebody may have either had some sort of illness going in that was easily treatable, or had got some illness while in jail. And basically it sounds to me, from what I read about all the different deaths, is that nobody gave these people medical treatment. It's like you were back in the Middle Ages, that
Sure.
If you got sick, you got a virus or anything, you just died.
Yeah.
Okay? And it was so easy to have a medical doctor, medical professionals come in and just look at these patients, treat them as human beings, treat them as somebody who deserves to live, rather than you're in pain, who cares? You're sick, who cares? Sit behind yourself. And that's, I think, unfortunately, why people died.
Yeah, one of the new policies is to not have utensils in the cells of those on suicide watch, because the one individual did kill herself with rather simple utensils, and to not have thick sheets that someone could hang themselves with, which was another scenario that played out. These are common This
is the woman who hung herself.
And these are common sense things. I believe this is Cynthia Acosta, who unfortunately hung herself in the jail. And in the year 2018, for a jail to just be figuring out to not have thick sheets in the cell of somebody on suicide watch, that's just inexcusable.
Well, Jake, I think you did a fabulous job. I'm so happy you're here as part of the team here at Spar and Bernstein. Fantastic criminal defense attorney, not only in New Jersey, but in New York as well. You really shine the light on a problem that nobody talks about. It really shows what kind of zealous advocate you are on behalf of not only your clients, but people who don't even know you. Fabulous job. Keep us updated on what's going on. Thanks for coming on.
Sure thing, Brad. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, so sad show today. I promise you tomorrow, fun and hijinks. No sadness. Tomorrow, I promise you, will be all fun and hijinks. Back to the old comedy, the old razzle-dazzle tomorrow. But today it's very sad. Let's go to Tashana in Bridgeport. Tashana.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine.
What's going on?
I got a question about F1 student.
Mm-hmm.
If you're an F1 student and employment want to hire you and file for you for your green card, is that possible?
You mean an employer wants to sponsor you? Absolutely. You can definitely get sponsored. Now, you may violate your status. It may be prospective employment, but certainly there's a process to go through. All right?
Okay,
so
what if you complete your education and they wanted to hire you?
Yeah, you can do, well, there's no more H-1Bs because you passed that point, but they certainly can do a job sponsorship for you. And either you find some other status to stay in while they're doing the job sponsorship, or you fall out of status and you go home and come back and get your green card. But there's certainly a process to go through. So hold on 1 second, okay? But we can help you. Hold on. All right, let's go to Major in Jonestown, Pennsylvania. Major.
Yes, how you doing?
What's up?
Yes, I'm okay.
What's going on? What's your question?
Yes, I'm an immigrant. I just came in the country, and I and my wife got married, but this gone April 7 make 2 years. And when I came November 21st, I got 2 years conditional green card.
Right.
Yeah. And my second question is that my wife want to file in a petition.
Wait. Let's go back. You entered the United States through marriage November of 2017.
No, 2016. We got married. We got married April 2016 in Liberia, in my country.
Okay.
And I came to the and I came to the U.S. this gone November, last year November 2017.
All right, so that makes you a conditional resident. So you were issued the conditional residence properly.
Okay, my second question is, my wife is filing in a petition for my son.
Right.
To come over, and the petition being approved already.
Great.
So will that be subject to DNA for me? Will I do DNA with the child, or because that's her foster child, that's not her biological. So will I need to do DNA? She's the petitioner.
All right, wait, let me get this straight. Your wife is filing for your child?
Yes.
Is that your biological son?
Yes.
Then you may have to take a DNA at some point. She's the stepmom. They may at the embassy ask for DNA. They may not. That's up to them.
Okay.
All right, I don't know what they'll do at the embassy, but as long as it's your son, don't worry about it. You'll prick your finger. He'll prick his finger. They'll check the blood. Blood don't lie.
Okay.
All right. But you should be. How old is your son?
My son is 7 years.
Okay, so the I-130 is already approved. You should be here in less than 6 months. Hopefully all goes well.
6 months.
Yeah. Hold on if you need help. It sounds like you're going to need a little help, so hold on 1 second. All right. So that's our calls for today. We're now closing our lines. I can't take any more calls today, but you can certainly call us tomorrow at 1-800-529-5465 to get your immigration questions answered. You could also call us at our law firm. Schedule an appointment to see me. Same telephone number, 1-800-529-5465. 5465. Kimmy, Kim.
Brad.
What is our social media moment of the day?
Oh, you wanted the moment of the day first?
Moment of the day.
Oof. Denisha John had the greatest idea.
What?
She said, in response to Marsha Whitaker saying these people call and they give us their whole life story and it's a soliloquy, if you will,
yes,
much like we were saying, Denisha said they should just start with Once Upon a Time and continue.
Well, I thought she was going to say.
The laugh makes me laugh more than the thing.
Laugh just hurts my ear. All right, so I think that Denisha, who said this, by the way?
Denisha John.
I thought she was going to say, they should just call and start saying, my friend.
No, we established that should be cousin now.
Right. Once upon a time, my friend.
My friend had an issue.
Once upon a time, my friend had an issue.
I do have two my friend questions from...
Okay, quickly.
Okay. One is, my friend who's a green card holder is about to apply for his citizenship, and his wife has a visiting visa, but she's planning to overstay it so that to overstay. Now, some of her friends are told her, not a big deal. Other people are saying, do not do that. What are the consequences if she overstays?
She's out of status. So, and one, I can't in good conscience say, yes, overstay and violate the law. Okay? No lawyer can say that. All I can tell you is, assuming the husband becomes a citizen and you made a legal entry into the United States, you will be able to adjust. But I can't tell you to overstay.
Natisha says, I have a friend who's here for over 20 years from Jamaica on someone else's papers. He was married and has a 20-year-old daughter who's a citizen, but he never put in a paperwork and now he is divorced. How can he get a green card?
I don't know, because he came on someone else's papers. That sounds like the word fraud.
It does.
Okay, misrepresentation.
It does.
So we need to find out more before I advise him. The best thing to do is come in for a personal one-on-one confidential consultation.
David's friend has a problem. She's married and has to a green card holder. She received the receipt, but it's been 4 months, but no letter for biometrics. Is there something wrong?
4 months?
4 months.
You didn't get it? Yes, there's something wrong. Call me.
Oof. Last question from Non-Free. Okay. Non-Free says, how many months or years do you have to have a green card after your removal of conditions residence card?
How long what?
So I'm assuming it's...
To become a citizen?
To become a citizen, yeah.
It's 5 years from the day you get your conditional green card, 3 years from the day you get your conditional green card, presuming that you've removed the conditions and you're in a bona fide marriage that whole time. So you count back from the day you get your conditional card, not from when you remove the conditions.
Glorious.
So Kimmy, what'd you think of the show today? Sad?
Sad, but really good. Like, we got some really good stuff in there. I love seeing Jorge and Alexa. They are amazing.
It's sad what goes on in prisons. I wish more people would know about it.
Yeah, immigration is at its core a pretty sad topic, I think, right now in this country. So.
All right. So stay tuned tomorrow. Please tell a friend to tell a friend. You know what everyone could do right now before we say goodbye? What you should do, every person, and we can watch this.
Yes.
Okay, we can watch this.
Monitoring.
Okay, we can monitor it. You can tag one of your friends who you think may need our help and tell them to watch the show tomorrow. You tag them in the comments right now. Tag one friend, at Belgium Kim.
Yes.
At Groundhog Sam.
It can't be Belgium Kim because I'll be watching already.
No, and you can't do at Groundhog Sam, but somebody else. Tag somebody right now. We're going to watch. Have a great night, guys, everybody. We'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough. I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465, and now conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465, 1-800-LAW-LINK, 1-800-529-5465.